Salutations, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I'm Grega, and I'm back for this video. I know it's been a while. I've been busy with things outside of this channel, just life stuff, work, and grad school as well. And so I'll probably be preoccupied with that, in all honesty, for the next several months. So it's going to be hard for me to be regular about making videos. But once that clears up, I'll be more regular about making videos for this channel. But I want to make a video today because recently we got some James Bond news, which was quite disappointing, I must say. But we'll get into that right now. So the news regarding James Bond is that Barbara Broccoli, she recently revealed when we can expect James Bond 26, and what Babs said just kills me, quite frankly. 2 years. Actually, at least 2 years. So it could be longer until we see a new James Bond. It's 2 years until it starts shooting. So realistically, by the time it hits theaters, I'm thinking probably more like 3 years. But anyway, Barbara Broccoli dropped this information during a BFI event in London recently, and she gave quite a shocking statement, I think. Not everyone is shocked by it, but I think it's quite baffling. Here's what she said. "We're working out where to go with him," meaning James Bond. "We're talking that through. There isn't a script, and we can't come up with one until we decide how we're going to approach the next film. Because really, it's a reinvention of Bond. We're reinventing who he is, and that takes time. I'd say that filming is at least 2 years away." That last line is really disappointing and just shocking, because No Time to Die was delayed for more than a year due to COVID. So they had that film in the can, and what did they do for that year? I understand they had to do the marketing campaigns, the many marketing campaigns for No Time to Die, because it started and stopped a couple times. But you're telling me during that time they couldn't spend a little bit of time and effort into determining what direction they were going to take with James Bond after Daniel Craig's tenure? I can't believe they wouldn't spend any time and effort on that during that time period, but apparently they're only now just thinking about it, so that's really quite unbelievable. Also, that line about reinventing James Bond has many people wondering just what the hell does that actually mean. And, over the last several years, we've seen major movie franchises like Star Wars, Star Trek, and it looks like pretty soon Lord of the Rings with that Amazon TV show that they're doing. We've seen these franchises just get beshitted by woke ideology and ham-fisted cringy feminism, shit like that. And it's happened to so many franchises that I'd be lying if I said I was not concerned about that being over the horizon for James Bond. However, I'm not going to hyperventilate about it quite yet, just because this could really just be a benign statement from Barbara, because, James Bond at his core has always been the same thing, no matter what actor is portraying him. And, Daniel Craig's James Bond, for instance, was very different from Pierce Brosnan's take just before him. Timothy Dalton was quite different from Roger Moore, and Moore quite different from, Lazenby. There wasn't real much to him, but he was very different from Connery. So the point is, recasting the role is each time, it's kind of a reinvention just in of itself. Each actor brings different strengths to their portrayal of James Bond. However, which actor they end up choosing for James Bond, that is very important, and unfortunately, that is also a window of opportunity to make Bond's reinvention a woke reinvention. And if you've seen any of my past videos on this channel, you know where I stand on the idea of getting a person of color, which is the preferred current term, to play James Bond. Idris Elba fanboys, cover your ears if you don't want to hear this, but Ian Fleming's James Bond is specifically a white character. That's just the truth of it, and that's how I want James Bond to stay in the movies. And if they do not keep him that way in the movies, I will not see that James Bond film. So the two people that have complete say over who will become the seventh James Bond are Barbara Broccoli and her brother Michael G. Wilson, the heads of EON Productions. And they've read the Ian Fleming James Bond novels, so they understand the roots of the character. And if they were to do something cringy, like race swap James Bond, they do so knowing that they're completely abandoning the roots of the character. I hope they don't do that, but there is some possibility of that happening, I think. And I worry because I'm just concerned that important decisions regarding the Bond franchise are not entirely in EON Productions' hands anymore. Remember that EON is under MGM, the studio MGM, which recently was bought by Amazon, of all companies. And Amazon is a woke corporation like just about all corporations are. And several months ago, the Daily Mail reported that EON was butting heads with higher-ups at Amazon over doing streaming content based on the James Bond IP. EON wanted to stick to just doing the theatrical films, even though they don't have much hustle with getting them out. But in any case, that's what they wanted to do. And Amazon, of course, wanted branded IP content to fill its streaming service, Amazon Prime. In March of this year, James Bond fans were kind of blindsided by the announcement of the first 007 branded TV series, which is called 007's Road to a Million. And as far as I can tell, it seems like it's this amazing race-style competition show that spans the globe, and its connection with James Bond feels quite tenuous. Apparently, they are going to be going to different James Bond filming locations, I believe, in this program. However, it does feel for all the world like they had this idea for an amazing race-style reality show, and they just grafted the James Bond IP onto it. That's just how it feels to me. And if you go onto the Amazon account for 007, find that post from March where they announced this, go look at the comments. The comments are pretty unanimously, what the fuck is this? So, that might be okay, and maybe it doesn't sound like something I'd necessarily prioritize. It's not very high on my watch list, but I just think that it might cheapen the 007 brand. And the point that I'm trying to make with that aside is that EON reportedly was clashing with Amazon over the idea of doing streaming content, and now we're getting streaming content. It looks like Amazon won that battle with EON Productions, and it only raises the question, how many more battles is Amazon going to win against EON Productions? I have my problems with EON Productions. However, Amazon is demonstrably a very woke company, and if they can throw their weight around regarding who gets cast as James Bond, they do some cringy stunt casting. So I would rather have that decision be in the hands of EON. I think EON is the lesser of two evils when it comes to that. So I don't think the possibility of Amazon encroaching closer and closer and being able to demand certain creative decisions be made with the James Bond IP is out of the question. I would not rule that out. So there you have it. Let me know what you think about what I discussed in this video. Are you happy with Barbara Broccoli's handling of James Bond? Do you think she needs to be taken out to pasture like I know some James Bond YouTubers out there feel? Whatever you feel, let me know. If you agree with me, I like the way you think. And if you don't, well, thank you for watching to the end anyway. I'm Grega, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.